and welcome to Ket's Guide to Glory of the Aberrus Raider. This video is a consolidated guide to each individual achievement for this raid. When you enter the room, directly to the right there is a molten vortex in the lava. You need to swim down and click it to gain a debuff called Hellsteel Plating, which does a little bit of ticking damage while active. Just a note, this is a personal achievement, so doing this outside of an achievement run is possible. To remove the debuff, you will need to get hit by a Hellbeam. Try to move out right away. If you have a large group, people might die, as removing the debuff does raid-wide damage, so you might need to do this in multiple groups. Once you clear your debuff, you will have a new debuff called Shattered Hellsteel. Once everyone has converted their debuff, you can kill the boss. If you are headed to Amalgamation, be sure to clear the trash around the table on the platform in the first few trash groups, as you need something behind the tables for Echoes of Neltharion's achievement. As you enter the room, to the left there is a Forgotten Specimen Tank. You need to hit it with 3 abilities during the fight. I recommend moving both bosses near the Forgotten Specimen Tank, so that the tanks and DPS don't have to run very far to hit it. The 3 abilities the Forgotten Specimen Tank needs to be hit with are Umbral Detonation from the Void Elemental, Fiery Meteor from the Fire Elemental. This targets a tank. Finally, Blistering Twilight from the final phase. Once hit, an ad called Shadowflame Remnant will spawn. Kill the Remnant, and then the boss for the achievement. Just before the final stairs to Forgotten Experiments is a tank on a platform. Click on the tank to release Nutraal. You will want to mark Nutraal so you can keep an eye on his position during the fight. Nutraal needs to be hit 3 times by the signature ability of each boss. Neldris must hit him 3 times with Rending charge. Do not stand on him, but rather have 2 of the marked people stand between him to hit him. You can hit him a maximum of 2 times per Rending charge. Thadrian must hit him 3 times with Volatile Spew. This one's easy to bait onto Nutraal by standing on him. Ryanthus must hit Nutraal 3 times with Deep Breath. Deep Breath is baited to where the majority of the raid is. This ability can be frustrating to hit Nutraal because he will often run out at the last second. Please note that as of this video, the achievement tracker does not properly track this achievement. But you can look at the debuffs on Nutraal to see what ability he's been hit with and how many stacks he has. Once Nutraal has been hit 3 times by each ability, you can kill that boss. If you are doing the full raid achievements, be sure to go up the chain after this fight and clear the trash on the platform. This will be needed for the Echo of Neltharion achievement. This fight requires a bit of setup, and everyone should be aware of where to throw a pebble. There are 6 mobs on the ground, as can be seen from the platforms. The near side has the rock snail, cave beetle, and magma slug. The far side has the siege mammoth, Zaqali bolt thrower, and ember mouse. We marked each, but it was hard to see the marks from the platform. Divide into 2 groups, with half of the raid going to each platform. In order to get a pebble, you must pick up a cave rubble, spawn during phase 2, and then stand in heavy cudgel. After this, you now have 3 cave pebbles to throw to the previously mentioned mobs. Be aware there's a Zaqali bolt thrower and ember mouse pat, and there is a cast time and travel time on the pebble, so you need to account for where they will be. Once all 6 mobs have been hit, you can kill the boss. As you go into the room, there's a lever on the right side of the doorway. Click it and a Lost Lunker will spawn that will hop around the room. The Lost Lunker jumps approximately every 6 seconds. So in order to help the timers during the fight, we had a 6-second pull timer as soon as he jumped, so we could line up the pull with the frog just as he was jumping. This seemed to make it easier to line up the jump timing throughout the fight. All you have to do is hit the Lost Lunker with Searing Slam 5 times. He jumps around quite a bit, and if you follow the 6-second pull timer advice, he will jump just as the second Searing Slam is going out, so be forewarned that a quick adjustment will be needed. Priests can grip if they're in the right spot, but sometimes you'll be lucky and a mage will be able to move to the new location fast enough. It seems that each slam stuns the Lost Lunker for about 6 seconds, so we assumed that it reset the 6-second timer. Be sure not to overlap a Searing Slam, as this causes extremely high raid damage and likely results in a wipe. After the Lost Lunker has been hit by Searing Slam 5 times, he will leave the boss area. You can kill the boss at this point. After killing Rashok and going up the chain, be sure to clear the entire platform of trash, as there is an item on that platform you will need for Echoes of Neltharion. On the table, just before either side of Zskarn's room, there is a delicate, experimental egg. You only need to pick up one of these eggs for the achievement. Once you click on the egg, you will need to stand in the circle to grab it. Once you grab the egg, you will have the panic debuff that will force you to run. You can only use instant spells during this time. Also, as an FYI, using RP Walk will slow you down. I do recommend killing all trash before grabbing the egg. Letting the debuff expire, running into a bomb, certain class abilities such as shapeshifting or using Death's Advance, or even having it active. Or finally, Zskarn casting Blast Wave will cause the egg to be thrown into the air. When you throw the egg into the air, you will get a 2-minute debuff that prevents you from catching the egg again. Someone else will need to catch the egg. You do this by standing in the circle. I recommend everyone who can stand in the circle try and catch the egg. You will need to have someone holding the egg, or the egg be in the air about to be caught, in order to get this achievement. Once Magmorax has been pulled, 20 spicy lava snails will spawn in the lava. They need to be swam out to, clicked, and brought back to the platform. Clicking on a snail will give you an extra action button to throw the snail to Magmorax once you are in range. Each snail gives Magmorax a stack of magma snacks. This gives Magmorax increasing damage, attack, and movement speed. At 20 stacks, this will change into Escar-Gorged. Dying while holding a snail will cause the achievement to fail, as there are only 20 snails in the lava. On both the east and west sides, there are snails quite far out, with one spawning approximately where the M in Molten Crucible is when looking at the northwest side. We had a small group and a dedicated healer go out and get all the snails, starting with the east side and moving in a circle around the platform. We kept Magmorax near the snail group, but we did try to avoid baiting any abilities toward them. Once Magmorax has had 20 snacks and gotten the Escar-Gorged buff, you can kill Magmorax. This achievement requires a bit of prep throughout the raid. As seen on the map, there are 4 items that must be brought into Neltharion's room. Chances are you have cleared trash in all of these areas, but the chain after experiments might still have trash if you didn't get it already. You will need 4 volunteers to return to these locations and grab the items. They are Expired Experiments, Stack of Scrolls, Portable Ebon Anvil, and Never Burning Ebon Candle. The anvil does have a stacking slow while being held, but none of the other items will do anything to the player. If you can't find one of the items, sometimes it will respawn by resetting Neltharion after bringing the other items into the room. When resetting Neltharion for the first time, be sure to break at least one item. The items will respawn on the stairs coming into the room when you do this. There are 3 abilities that can break the items. Calamitous Strike, which is cast on tanks in Phase 1 and 3, Sunder Shadow, which is cast on tanks in Phase 2, and Rushing Darkness, which is cast on any non-tank in all phases. In order to break an item, the player must be hit by the ability while holding the item and hit a breakable wall. We found it easiest to let the tanks hold the items and be hit by Calamitous Strike. Due to the slow on the anvil, we had that item broken first. We then spaced all the items around the room so they could be picked up as we moved around the room. We also moved a few of them with us. Once all 4 items are broken, you can kill the boss. This is an easy achievement, and it is personal. First, you should clear all the trash leading to Sarkareth, but don't jump down. Instead, go back to the water and go for a dip to get 10 stacks of the Clinging Void debuff. Once you get 10 stacks, it will turn into a lump of flesh, which has a 10-minute timer on it. Pull the boss and do Phase 1 as normal. Once Phase 1 ends and you get 10 stacks of Oblivion, you will be thrown into the emptiness between stars. Go to the edge of the platform and click your extra action button to throw the lump of flesh off the platform. Walk through the 3 white circles to bring yourself back up top before the timer runs out so you don't die. If you didn't throw your lump during that phase, you can also throw it by going down the normal way during the rest of the fight and throwing it then. Once you have thrown your lump of flesh into the darkness, kill Sarkareth to get the achievement. If you've gotten all the other achievements, congrats on your new mount. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you liked this video.